Good idea to start us off on the right foot and give us definition. I fought over this for a long time. My earliest attempt at defining the term security was something like the ability of a system to maintain the policies or enforce the policies of the authorities of the owners of the resources that it contains. Anybody get that? I didn't think so. All right, so it's the enforcement of policy.
So tell me what you thought about that presenter, that speaker.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good. I kind of feel bad that he went so slow. I put on my comments that it probably should have been a full day tutorial.
This is Apple documentation, and what I will say about it will be very brief because I've really worked very little on Apple environments, I have to say. So it's out there, people use it, and that's I have to apologize. I wish I could tell you more about it. I don't just
In May of 1994, I was at an event in New Orleans, and I met a very interesting young man from Helsinki, Finland, who had a very interesting operating system. It must be very gratifying to John and Linus and all the other pioneers of Linux to see the level that Linux has come to today. And this truly is a coming out party and a whole new level for Linux development. And congratulations to IDG on staging such a superb show for Linux.
The first option selected is WordPerfect 6, 7, and 8. What that means is that we have not changed our file format since version 6 of WordPerfect. So it doesn't matter what version.
that you have the money, power, and the technological ability to clone yourself, a clone of you probably would be smart enough to come up with an operating system like Linux, but no clone of you would ever give it away for free.
That's true. When a problem came up that even I couldn't foresee.
What?
When my clone was bitten by a radioactive penguin.
Okay, that's spot, which is okay. Now let me go on to the why it sucks. First of all, it uses plain text HTML multiplication, and this really sucks.
I guess we'll just have to cope. We know where we are right now. We're having tremendous success. It seems like a day doesn't go by without a major Fortune 500 announcement or some kind of corporate alliance. And here we are at our first real trade show. And wow, I think the most surreal thing I've seen here is the IBM marquee. With a logo 9 times the size of God, and next to it, building the Linux community. Wow.
What we've fallen down so far is in getting the idea into the educational institutions. I believe that, these schools, they're suckers for anything that's free, unless it happens to really be free. I don't get it. So I think we need to stress, that people in schools really should be learning the code by looking at the source. And
when I founded the free software movement, my goal was to give users freedom to cooperate as members of the community when they want to. With proprietary software, you don't have that choice. Cooperation is illegal, or it's impossible. Now, today, a particular free software operating system, the GNU system, is getting to be so popular in its form combined with kernel Linux that there are whole trade shows dedicated to it. And what do you see in these trade shows? You see somebody from a company stand up in this room and talk about their proprietary, non-free software that works with the system. I don't think that everything's coming up roses.
I'm not sure if I want to respond to that. I don't feel much of a revolutionary spirit in myself. I like evolution more. And actually, I only told Eric I would be in his panel, so I would have an excuse to come out here and play with his gun.
I would like to see that. I disagree with Richard in the sense that I don't think we should. Even though I joke about world domination, I also think that we actually shouldn't try to dominate with free software. And there's a lot of power in combining the notion of having open source and the notion of having traditional proprietary software and let everybody live the way they want to live. And it's very obvious how I want to live, but I don't actually need to enforce my opinions on people. So
I'll give you practicality. It's not okay that a man, because he has $1.5 billion, gets to force his operating system up on children in thousands of schools. It's not all right. And you people should say no to it. And whether you're Richard Stallman, who's the head of IBM here, Lou Gerstner, are you here? What? Is the head of Sun here? What did he say? Funny. What? Yeah, say NT. Listen. This cuts across the issue of proprietary versus, or source secret rather, versus free. By the way, I'm on Richard's side entirely on that. But this cuts across it and we can all agree. Nobody gets to bribe school systems and libraries to put his or her operating system on just because he bribes him. It's not okay. And I want also the proprietary people to get up and say it. Say, hey, Gates, you don't get, this is not a charitable thing. This is free advertising, and it's worse than free advertising. As the Jesuit said, give me a child until the age of 6. I've got him for life. Okay? It's not okay. Now, this is pretty damn practical, Eric.
Personally, I don't often talk about social good. I try to do social good, but I don't talk about it much because when I hear other people talk about social good, that's when I reach for my revolver.
Have you got it with you here?
No. Usually when maybe this is just me, but usually when I hear social good, the next words I expect to hear are something like, give me your wallet. So I prefer to just work for the good of humanity and not talk about doing it a lot. And so I suggest that the indirect route is the best one, which is we get the cooperation of the corporations and spread our open source free software idea all over the world and help people become more productive and more empowered and more free. And that will do a lot more social good than talking about social good ever will.
The reason I thought of education in the first place was because I think of my education as a microcosm of the third world. When we put it in personal terms, I think there's 1 billion potential Perl programmers in China.
But what you do want to have is you do want to have companies that pre-install Linux, because regardless of how easy we make a Linux install, it's still going to be a scary thing for people who aren't used to computers to do. That's just a basic fact of life, that people are afraid of computers. And it's going away. People aren't as afraid of computers as they were a few years ago. But people still don't like doing operating system installs. It's like doing brain surgery on yourself. It's not something most people really enjoy doing. And that's regardless of how easy it is. So what you want to do, if you want to have your mom, your grandmother running Linux or anything else, you either need to have a friend, like mentioned in the last question, or you need to buy from a vendor that pre-installs. And it's happening.